Hello, we're going to continue with our next module, which is cell cycle and regulation. We're going to be looking at standard 1B, which is develop and use models to explain the role of cellular reproduction in maintaining genetic continuity. So we're going to start off looking at what is mitosis. Mitosis is that cellular division involving our non-set cells. So from our previous module, we learned that chromosomes 1 through 22 were our non-set cells, and our 23rd chromosome was our set cell. Our 1 through 22 chromosomes are considered diploid cell, which means that they have two sets of chromosomes, whereas our 23rd chromosome is considered haploid, which is one set of chromosomes. Mitosis is that form of asexual reproduction for some life, such as bacteria, protista, and fungi. This is how they reproduce their offspring. So when we look at what the start and end product of mitosis is, we will start with our 2N, our diploid cell. So we start off with our parent cell. So for example, our parent cell for humans, if it's a diploid, will be 46. We are going to go through the process of mitosis. So when we look at the process of mitosis, and don't worry about the animation because when we actually go into mitosis, we will see what is actually happening at each stage. Here, this is just an overview to prepare you for cell cycle and prepare you for interphase. So when we looked at our beginning, we have 46 chromosomes. We go through the process of mitosis, and we're going to end with 246 chromosomes. These 246 chromosomes, our two diploid cells, will be identical to each other. So we started off with our parent cell, which was that 46 total of chromosomes, going through the process of mitosis, and now we are ending with 246 identical daughter cells. So now we're going to look at what is the cell cycle. So the cell cycle is a repeating set of events involving the life of the cell. So we have interphase, which is our first one. Interphase is where our cells spend the most time. The life of the cell stays in interphase until it is prompt to go through that process of mitosis. Then we have prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase, which are a part of mitosis. And then afterwards, we have cytokinesis and cytokinesis, which we'll go into once we go into mitosis. So we're going to start with interphase. Interphase is very important to the cell because this is where the cell spends most of its time. This is where the cell will grow, it will perform its daily functions, and then if something needs to be replenished and it has to go through mitosis, this is where it will start the process of mitosis. So it is divided into 3 stages. So note we have 4, but we're going to talk about that 4th stage after I go over the 3 stages. We got G1. G1 is where the cell is normally functioning normally, is going through its regular cell growth, it's making sure it has all the nutrients it needs, and make sure that daily functions is getting performed. So say we may cut our arm, and we need skin cells to grow over our arm. It will go through that process of mitosis. So say we need to go through that process. Our next stage will be S. S is when the DNA gets replicated. So in order for our cells to know what to do, we need that DNA. So during the S phase, our DNA is getting replicated. After it goes through that replication, it goes through G2, where it still goes through that normal cell growth so it can have the capability of dividing once it goes through mitosis. It's still going through its normal function, but it's growing as well. Now we're going to look at G0. G0 is not really a stage, but it's very important to know what that is. G0 is a stage where the cell is constantly in G1. So these cells never go through the process of mitosis. An example of that would be our nerve cells. If someone were to damage their nerve cells, they cannot get those cells back. That is why it's very important for us to have helmets on, because if we have a traumatic brain injury, those cells that are in our brain, once they die, they cannot be replenished because those particular cells do not go through the process of S and G2, so it can go through mitosis. So G0 is not really a stage, but it's very important to know because these cells never leave the G1 stage. That was the end of my lesson. Please make sure you complete your other assignments. If you have any questions, please let me know.